guys, this is Cheyenne with Soft Crochet Times, and today we're going to be doing something just a little bit differently. If you guys saw before, I did review a yarn ball kit, I guess that you could call it. It was used to make a single hat, and it didn't exactly work out that well, but I had fun opening it and checking it out with you guys. So I was at Walmart today, and I saw this really cute, it says 100% extra small mini clay kit, and I guess you make like this little cake, and it has different color clay and little utensils and everything. But it was only $1. So since it was only $1, I absolutely had to pick it up. So with me today, my niece Amal. Say hi.
Hi.
She wanted to help me review this because she absolutely loves little teeny tiny food. And me trying to be the fun Auntie, I am letting her on the video today. So she's going to be helping me out a little bit, probably mainly watching. So this kit says it includes clay, a carving tool, a plate, a cake stand, a serving spatula, a napkin, accessory sheet, silverware set, and instructions. That is quite a bit for $1, even though it is tiny. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. We're going to check it out. Yes, I'm just ripping open the package. Okay. Is that everything? Looks like it. Alright. So just opening this up, I see that this is our little plate. We got a couple knives, a fork, and a serving spoon. The only thing that confuses me about this is on the package, it shows a knife, a spoon, and a fork. However, here we have 2 knives and a fork, and I don't see a spoon. So I might already be catching on why this was clearance down to $1. It was originally $2.97, but this could definitely have something to do with that. So anyways, opening up the rest of it, and we have 5 things of clay. These feel really puffy. Feel that. Feel that, Amal.
Mm-hmm.
They're really puffy. I don't know what's up with this.
But they also are very, very squishy. Pink.
Yeah.
I want to use pink.
But it's almost like this bag is, as she just showed you with that popping noise, it seems like this bag is almost ready to explode with how much air is in here. And I'm not sure why. But we'll figure that out. So this is our little cake stand. And our little carving tool, and a dessert menu, a first place prize sticker, it looks like you'd get in a county fair, a little decorative mat, and I'm going to guess this is a dolly to go on top of this. And on the other side, it looks like if you open up when you cut out the menu, you can actually fold it. And it has a little dessert menu, like cupcakes, cookies, desserts, coffee. So that's kind of cool. You kind of have like 2 sides to each one if you wanted. Alright, so let's open up the instructions. Alright, so this kit does say somewhere that it includes everything that you need. And it also has easy peasy instructions on YouTube. So that's cool for people that are more visual learners. I'm sure we'll be able to sort this out. However, it says that we need some scissors and a pencil. So Amal's going to go get those apparently. So it says that like the whole white thing is for the frosting. Like 3/4 of the pink and the other colors are for sprinkles. Or sorry, for the cake. And then the other quarter is for sprinkles. And then down here it says, freeze for 1 hour for best cutting results. I might try to cut it beforehand and then freeze it for an hour and show you guys what it means. So, it says instructions, but this isn't really that much of an instruction page. I mean, I guess we can just figure it out. It's not really that hard, but it does say 8+, so I feel like most kids should be able to figure this out without use of directions. So it says, use a pencil to evenly roll clay. I don't know why they couldn't have just given us, maybe made the end of this round or something. But I guess we're going to be trying with a pencil. And I don't think I have a regular pencil. So let's hope a mechanical pencil works. And it also doesn't show us how big we should be rolling anything out. So I guess we'll figure that out in a little bit. So I'm going to open up all my clay. Oh. Whoa, that has a really weird texture. It's like almost oily. It's like old Laffy Taffy. One second. Come try this, Amal. I'll open up the other ones.
Yeah, it feels pretty gooey, but also very satisfying.
Thank you, honey. I really can't describe what this texture is, but if you can see it, I guess, it's very airy, but like I said, it's almost oily. I don't know why it's oily feeling. And honestly, my background is, you can kind of see it right here. My background is cardboard, so the oil is kind of seeping into it, and it is dyeing the surface. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you don't put anything underneath it that you don't want possibly dyed. So following the instructions that we are given, I should be cutting a little bit off the top for each one for the sprinkles, but then keeping the whole white one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That seems good. Maybe a little bit less for the pink. We don't really need that much for sprinkles. I want to make sure we have enough for a cake though. And then some purple. And then some blue. This stuff feels so weird. I've never felt like an oily clay before. Do you want to cut the last little piece?
Yeah.
Alright. Good job, babe. Put it in our little sprinkle pile.
Hold on, I just want to play with it until you need it, please.
Okay. I guess she's going to play with it till we need it.
Yeah. It feels really cool.
So it says to go in the order of... It shows very red here, but it's supposed to be the pink, I'm guessing, which there is a pretty big difference there. But red, yellow, blue, purple. And like I said, it doesn't really give us any guide on how big to roll it. So I'm just going to kind of use this as my reference, not to go bigger than this. Because we want our cake to actually fit on the little stand. I'm not even really sure why we have to roll it, why we can't just roll it into a ball and kind of squish it. But I'm going to do what it says. Clearly that's a little thick already, which it doesn't seem like. I barely rolled it at all. So let's roll it back into a ball and try once again to get it small enough. I'm going to just squish it down. I think that's going to be a lot easier than trying to roll it out with a pencil. So I guess that's a pretty good size. A little bit of space on each room, or each side. And the next color it says to do is the blue. This blue, if you can't tell, it has a dry corner here. And I'm going to pull this apart. What is that white thing? I don't know if it didn't incorporate or something when they were mixing it. Let me focus on that. But there's just like a random white speck in the middle of it. But if this gives you a good example of the texture we're working with, this part's pretty dry. I pull it apart. It looks just like sponge or foam. It does not look like how clay usually dries, even air dry clay. This is very foamy. It's not necessarily bad. It's just a very odd texture. There you go. Now you should be able to see it better. Anyways, I pulled out that little dry corner. That was weird. This whole clay is just very odd. I'm trying to roll it into a ball and it's like separating on me. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Roll it into a ball, roll it into a ball, and then press it out of its face.
Alright, and that looks about the same size. This is definitely turning out to be a lot thicker than they showed. As you can see on the package, here it shows kind of thin strips. We definitely have already beat that. but I don't know how much smaller I can do it and make it actually fit on the little Lazy Susan, I guess you could call it, or cake server. I'm not sure. And I realize that I've already messed up the instructions, but it's all right. I was supposed to do yellow next, but these are very conjoined. So we're just going to keep it the way that we did it. We're going to have our own little...
It's going to be very beautiful and not to eat.
Exactly. We do not eat this. Good disclaimer.
If you give it to a toddler, make sure you watch her with it.
No, we just won't give this to toddlers. As we remember, this is supposed to be 8+. My niece is 7. She's close. It's close enough.
I can play with it.
Yes, darling.
Because I know not to eat it, even though it probably will look delicious.
Yes, baby. I bet we're going to make a pretty yummy looking cake. And here seems to be our last layer, I think. I never said that I was a very good cake decorator or a baker. However, I want to point out a discrepancy here, and I don't think it's 100% my fault. This cake is definitely way taller than the one that they depict on the picture. Definitely way taller. Because if you look at the cake stand in the picture, it's really not that much smaller in real life. So my cake, in theory, should be smaller than the one that's on the box. And it's definitely not. Anyways, even though we have a super tall cake, I'm hoping that we have enough white clay to top it. And since there's no instructions, I'm not entirely sure what they want us to do here. So if you notice, the white goes all around the sides of the cake. But over here, they're telling us just to drape it on top like frosting. So I'm going to try to wrap it around and see if I have enough for the frosting afterwards. I'm not sure I will, as this is a very tall cake. So I'm going to go with their method of rolling it out with my pencil. Oh, very sticky to the pencil. Okay. Is that tall enough? That looks tall enough. So, I am definitely not a cake maker. Never said I was. So I'll make sure everybody knows that. So, I'm going to take this little clay cutter thing and try to get a smooth-ish line on the bottom. And then I'm just going to try to wrap it around. Okay, so we might have enough. I might have called him out a little too soon on that, but this part, oh, shoot, we got a tear. This part is not exactly easy. Okay, so I got it pretty much wrapped around, and I am going to do a little cut. Remind you, we're going completely rogue at this moment. There was no instructions about this part. I am trying to replicate what was on the box. I might not be doing the best job at it. Oh, and now I lost my cake. There we go.
The cake has come back.
The cake is a lie.
The cake has come to greet you with its deliciousness.
Yes, darling.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Alright, so I'm just going to roll this out a little bit, kind of make like a icing-y shape. Pull it up. Fix my little tear again. Just going to lay it on top. So, this does not look like a cake.
So, it was supposed to be much, much, much more tinier. But look at the size of it.
This is supposed to be our napkin. I forgot that they added a napkin, because it's literally just a tiny piece of tissue paper. But, you know, I guess it's cool they gave us a napkin. Alright, so I'm just going to roll these out, I guess, to make my sprinkles. It doesn't really give you an instruction, once again, how to make the sprinkles. But I'm going to guess, because that's how they kind of look on this. Oh, you can't see with the price tag. But as you can see here, that's kind of how it makes the sprinkles look up. So now I'm just going to cut a couple, I guess.
We are going to roll it.
Cut.
And she rolled 2, and I'm going to roll 2.
Okay, so I think that's pretty good for the blue sprinkles. So I definitely took a little too much clay for my sprinkles. But even though I took too much clay, my cake is still way too tall. You can't even see the stand anymore. The stand is very short compared to this cake. And all I know is that there is absolutely no hope that I'm going to be able to cut this cake. One second, I'm trying to get it out. There's absolutely no hope I'm going to be able to cut this cake with this tiny little cake cutter. It's just not happening. Alright, so now I'm just going to get a couple more sprinkles. Some big, big sprinkles for a big cake. Maul's helping. Put a couple pink sprinkles. We're running out of room for our sprinkles.
Just put them on the side. Sorta. Kinda.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be very thick sprinkles.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. At least we'll have a little bit extra.
Actually, should we put a candle on it?
Ani's gonna help you.
Yeah.
Because you're struggling.
Yes, I'm having a very bad time. This cake actually looks pretty good and juicy and fat.
So we finally got the yellow sprinkle sorted out.
Oh, geez, it's actually very sticky.
Okay, these ones ended up being a little bit more like balls, but that's okay.
Sprinkles are sprinkles.
Sprinkles are sprinkles, yes.
Sprinkles are amazing and they taste delicious.
Quote of 2020 of the year. Anyways, see that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, ma'am, sir, ma'am.
Okay. So, we've kind of... We did a thing. It kind of looks like a cake. I'll give it that. Does it look like the cake on the box? Oh.
Nope.
No. No, it does not.
This just looks like a giant cake that had, like, too many eggs laid on it. And worms.
Why worms and eggs? Come on.
No.
All I know is this kit is supposed to be for 8+. Last time I checked, I am definitely 8+. I should have been able to replicate this cake. And this cake is not replicated. So, I'm going to set a little tiny scene, and we'll be back to cut this cake, and then we're probably going to time-lapse a little bit, and we're going to try cutting it frozen, because that is what the instructions say. Alright, so I went and set what I guess you could call our little scene. Here is our amazingly lovely cake, with its well-deserved first place trophy. Our little cake cutter, our little placemat. Here is our little menu. As you can see, it actually has names and prices, which is, that's pretty cute. That's on the back and on the front. And then here is our lovely plate that has 2 knives and 1 fork. Once again, we are missing the spoon. One thing that I do want to mention really quick while I was setting up the scene, this kit is for 8+, like I was saying. If you notice, this shape has a lot of very, very small things that need to be cut out. I have been cutting a lot longer than an 8-year-old probably has been with paper. And as I can tell you, that was not an easy cutout. I kind of just gave up and cut around it. So now we can thank Amal for helping hold the camera.
I'm sorry it's not in the same position. I'm not a very good cake holder. Well, camera holder.
Either way, she's going to hold the camera for me. And with this cake, there's absolutely no way I am cutting it with this little teeny tiny thing. So I am going to use the big knife. And I'm going to go right down from the center. Oh, goodness. Oh, no.
Cheyenne is having struggles. Oh, dear. The cake is defeating her.
Okay. I think we really do need to follow the instructions and wait that 1 hour because my cake did not go well. The whole thing started collapsing. So we're going to pop this in the freezer. I really hope I didn't mess it up. But we'll be back to you in an hour. Alright, so we're back after 1 hour. And here's our cake. It's still pretty bouncy. And it says that since we waited an hour, we should have the best cutting experience now. So I could use the little plastic knife that they gave me, but I really don't think that's going to cut through it, and I want to get that really nice cut. So I'm going to take my rainbow knife.
Which is very fashionable.
Yes.
And I am holding the camera again.
And we're going to go ahead.
Oh, that actually cuts through very nicely.
Alright, so I've gone ahead and cut the cake. And I am definitely not the best cake cutter in the world, and I'm totally willing to admit that. However, there is a difference here. This does not look like this.
It just looks like a very, very big piece of cake.
Well, either way, even though it's not exactly what the box had promised, it was still fun. I mean, did you have a good time, Amal?
Yeah, I have an amazing time.
And we still got a cool little cake thing. And
it's very, very sticky, though. Actually, it's very, very cool.
I'm trying to do an outro, Amal. You stop. And with this cake, when it dries, as I was saying earlier, it tends to dry a lot like foam, if you can tell. So I think overall, the fact that I only spent $1, I would say it was worth it. Even at the $3 price point, you're not exactly getting what it says you're going to get, but it's still really fun. At the $3 price point, it would definitely be a little bit less worth it, considering we didn't get the right utensils and lack of instructions. However, $1, I can dig it for $1. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and please make sure you're like, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that other good stuff. It really does help the channel, and it lets me know if this might be the kind of thing that you want to see in the future along with the tutorials. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.